Hello, and welcome to Fort Talk. My name is Randy Crane from the museum at Ashby's Fort, and this week's video is about 18th century men's clothing. The clothes men wore in the 1700s were the ancestors of today's three-piece suits, with some significant differences. Men wore a long shirt, which they wore to bed as well. This was usually made from linen, although cotton was an option. Neither men or women wore underwear in the 1700s. Underwear wouldn't arrive until late in the 1800s. Next, men wore stockings that went above the knee. They were quite snug and helped show off the calves, which were considered a man's best feature. Now comes the suit. Pants or trousers did not exist as we know them in the 1750s. What they wore instead were breeches which ended just below the knee. Made from linen or wool, they could be any color you choose. Next came the waistcoat, pronounced waistcoat, which today's vest comes from. The waistcoat could be made from any fabric, wool, linen, or even silk, and in any color available. Men also wore neck stocks, cravats, or neckerchiefs, the precursor to the tie. Men in the lower to middling classes wore neckerchiefs that were block printed, with fancy designs often on cotton. Wealthier men could often wear silk cravats or neck stocks, which could even be ruffled if you wanted to make a statement. Next came the coat, often made from wool or a heavy linen, depending on your climate. These could also come in any color. Men's coats had pockets and fancy details like lots of buttons. Most civilian coats had 18 to 30 buttons on them. Most men only buttoned a few of the front buttons. They were mainly for show. George Washington's military coat was a little showier with 82 buttons. All men also wore hats, usually tricorns unless they were tradesmen, when they would wear stocking caps like today's beanies. If you were planning on traveling, hunting, or walking through the woods, men would wear leggings, sometimes called gaiters, that went from just above the knee down to the shoe tops. These were thick material made from wool, canvas, or deerskin. These would protect your legs and stockings from getting torn up by briars going through the woods. Stockings and leggings were each held up by garters. To complete the outfit, men would wear standard leather shoes, or they were built on straight lace, which meant you could wear them on either foot, at least initially. I will tell you, they are the most uncomfortable shoes you can imagine. Wealthy men like George here could afford to have custom riding boots made from the softest calfskin, but that was not an option for the vast majority of men or women at that time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Fort Talk.